I just pulled into beautiful Polson Motor Coach Resort in Polson, Montana with the 45-foot Newell. We did about a 10-hour day today and about a 12-hour day yesterday. Got a whole bunch of weather on the way and picked up some dust. But I'm going to walk through today a procedure that I've received many requests on, and that is, what do I do when I pull into a site and want to clean the coach? What do I use? What kind of water do I use? The equipment, etc. So stick around for this video and you're about to find out. All right, now I'm going to duck a little bit out of the wind here. We got a storm coming in and I don't want to take any extra time because it's about ready to go sunset on me and we got a wind coming up. It's a little bit cold. So the important thing is I want to lay down some video for you because the coach has taken some pretty good bug hits on the way. Yesterday, it was brutal. This was all completely covered with bugs when we hit Utah. We hit a little bit of rain today, which did a little bit of good, but yesterday it was pretty bad. So I'm going to still follow the same procedure, which is I'm going to spray this with bugs and all and let it sit for about 10 minutes after I've wetted it down. And these bugs will just kind of dissolve right off. So to make my job a little bit less intensive on the back, as you know, when I pull into a site, before I put slides out, I take out all my water gear. So in this case, I actually, in addition to taking out my water filter, my soft water conditioner, and this time I took out my DI tank as well as my pressure washer. So I'm going to get those things hooked up and walk you through the system that I hook up. And with any luck, before it gets dark, I'll let you see how I wash the coach. I've got this system pretty well thought out and laid out to not only be quick to set up, but also take up as little space as possible. And the secret to that is getting everything to work double duty. So let me give you an example. Here you see my pressure washer, which is stored in this tote box. That tote box is now going to double for my soap. So now I put soap in that, and now I've got my soap bucket, so I don't have to carry an extra soap bucket. Here I've got my 3-stage water filter that, as you know, I can build those for you and sell those. 3-stage water filter goes from 5.1 to 0.5. So that is a 3-stage water filter that now gets all the impurities out, and then it hits my softener tank. The softener tank would normally get plugged right into this water line right here on the coach. So it would normally get plugged right into that. But today I'm going to make a modification. What I normally do is have a Y adapter on the hose bib, and then I can just connect all my hardware stuff onto that. But this time what I would like to do is I want to have everything running through my filtering system as well as soft water before it hits the DI tank. Why do I do that? Because I want the best water possible going through this DI rinse resin bed, because number one is it's expensive, number two is, and more important, it's a pain in the butt to flush out, especially on the road, and number three is if you don't put good water through here, this doesn't last that long. Some of the other cartridges systems, you'll expend a set of resin cartridges within one wash job if you have super hard, super dirty water with a lot of impurities in it. So might as well play it safe. It's really easy for me to replace filters in my 3-stage, and very easy for me to back flush or do a full regen with the water softener. So the secret to doing that is I just put my other quick fitting right onto that, and boom. Now my DI is in line. I have my connection hose here that goes basically from my DI tank and will now go right into little bit cold, little bit kinky hoses. Now it goes right into this Greenworks pressure washer. This is not a beast. This pressure washer will not do big jobs, but with the ceramic coating on this rig, I don't classify it as a big job anymore. It's just a matter of dusting this thing down with a little pH balanced soap and then giving it a rinse. For the sticky sections, I'm going to use a very light touch of the Moppins Lambswool. There are different microfiber mitts, but I've got the Lambswool. It's super clean. It's perfectly fine. A lot of people bash Lambswool, but I mean, I've used them for decades, and you got to keep them clean. If they're not clean anymore, then you get new ones, just like anything else. But this Greenworks, I don't even know if it's even made any longer. It was very inexpensive at Lowe's, and it was under $100. I think I got it on sale for about 75. It just works fine. Normally what I'll use is a foam cannon. You can get these from Adams, from Chemical Guys, or good old Amazon. Today I'm going to give the Greenworks foam cannon a shot, mainly because I'm using this new soap from Sencha, and this was recommended by Bob Moses, and I thought, you know what, let me see how it responds. I know how the normal Adams shampoo responds in this, but this soap that they give you from Sencha is a little bit different consistency, so I want to see how it responds in this, I call it a cheaper foam cannon. As always, I got certain things I like to use a lot, and one of them is I landed on this Wooster collapsible telescopic pole. It just does everything, from window washing to Lambswool to this, which is the Aero Cosmetics. It's the scrub wet mitt on there. It's microfiber chenille. I strongly encourage you to put some good quality padding like Gorilla Tape. When you hit an awning or a ridge with this couple right here, it tends to scratch. So try to protect your coach with a little bit of padding. I'm gonna get my Bugs and All spray right here. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna give a quick rinse on the front, get it all wetted down before I put the Bugs and All, which is an enzyme. It works better with a little bit of water. One question I received is, do I use tap water or purified water, if you will, like from the filter, just to do a quick rinse? And the answer is no, and any professional detailer will tell you nothing touches these coaches except DI water. If you use a questionable water and you leave water pockets, or there's a lot of hidden spaces on these coaches, what will happen invariably is you'll rinse all the coach down with your DI water, and then as it drips, you're gonna get that impure non-DI water dripping down and leaving spots. So the answer is no. Always use DI. So you can see I just gave it a quick rinse. I sprayed it down with the Bugs and All, and I kind of worked it in a little bit with the scrubber. It won't scratch the paint, and just very light touch, just kind of smear the enzyme around and make sure I cover everything. And then I'm just gonna give it a quick hit with this hand pad. It's also part of Aero Cosmetics. It's the same non-scratch pad. Just get a little bit more of the detail around the lights and such. Let this stuff sit about 10 minutes. I've even let this stuff sit in the sun and actually dry, and believe it or not, it still dissolves the bugs. One thing nice about this lower pressure washer is you can use this turbo nozzle without a big fear of drilling through your protection film. If you have protection film and a high pressure washer, such as what's stock on the newer Newells, do not use this. You'll drill right through all your protection film and you'll damage your paint too. So again, do not use this unless you've got a really low pressure, aka very cheap pressure washer. Most of the time, you'll want to use the wider pattern. Wider, like the white, green, red gets a little bit too narrow, depending on the pressure washer fittings. In the effort of sparing your time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I washed the entire coach, but I'm going to do it just at the first panel because it's obvious that after the first panel, it's just a boring repeat. But the procedure is this. Now I have that short supply hose on the pressure washer, which is just fine for this video, but what I'll do after this is then I'll detach that and I'll connect my longer utility garden hose, and that'll allow me to carry that pressure washer all the way around the coach without detaching anything. First step, give the coach a light misting. Now, if your coach is super clean anyway, like pretty much this one is, you can go straight to the foam cannon and spray down soap. Can you get by with just rinsing with DI and not even using soap? Yes, you can, but today I'm actually going to touch it in certain places with the wet mop. So I want to make sure I get a good protective layer down of soap. First, I want to knock off all the big stuff, if there is any, with a quick dusting from the pressure washer with no soap. So here we go. One panel, front panel, so you can see it, and then I'll show you after I get done rinsing what we do next. For you Newell owners and bifold door owners, watch how much dirt comes out of that seam where that hinge is. So I give it a good dose of pressure wash in that seam to get all that dirt out. I'm going to walk you up close so you can see. There's a good example. See all that in there? If I was hitting this with non-DI water, all that hard water and such is going to get into all these crevices. It's just going to wreak havoc. Same thing with the seals. Okay, I spent a little more time rinsing that down than I normally would, but I kind of wanted you to get the idea how ridiculously clean it comes. I wouldn't have to do anything more. It's just rinsed all that dust off. I really would tempt just to leave it as it is and just let it dry. But I'm going to give it a little bit extra care. I'm going to hit it with the foam cannon now, and we'll see how that looks. Hopefully this cheap foam cannon works somewhat okay. I don't have a lot of confidence in it, but we'll see. I can tell you, it's not bad. Don't try to tackle more than you can span with your hands. So dust it with your pressure washer soap, and then come and rinse it. Obviously rinse towards the side that you aren't doing yet. That's not bad. It uses a little bit more of that soap water solution than I would like, but it lays down a fairly good bed, not quite as good as a more expensive foam cannon. But at this point, I could switch over and rinse it down. And again, quite honestly, I could go with that and be just fine, but I actually do want to touch it with the Mary Moppins mop just in a few places around the awnings to make sure I get it nice and clean. And after that, you're going to give it a rinse. So it didn't take much at all. Gave it a really quick, very, very, very light touch with the mop. Got those awning tops and such. And I'm just going to give it a quick wash. Hopefully you can see the big difference in spending a little bit of coin on a professional foam cannon. You can see the difference. That Lowe's Greenworks is just cheap. It throws out a very fine pattern, if you will, whereas this has an adjustable pattern. I'll flare it here in a second. Plus it has an adjustable rate, so if it's laying it down too much, I can back it off. So watch the difference. When you buy a professional, good quality foam cannon, if anything else, it's going to save you on soap. You'll notice the first section there, I ran through a whole bottle, albeit a little bit smaller bottle, of the foam soap solution on that cheaper Greenworks cannon, whereas I've done the whole back panel, just as much surface area, and I've only gone through a half. So it's a much more efficient Venturi system in here. So highly recommend you get a professional foam cannon. Another question is, can you pressure wash your engine? Yes. Can you soap it? Yes. Do you have to worry about the spark plugs? No. But you do have to be careful about the electronics and other products that may be sensitive to water. Don't get too cray-cray with a pressure gun. Just give it a light dusting. It'll be fine. One note on maintenance: before you start getting jiggy with the soap gun and any cleaner product, take a look at all your things in terms of oil drips, hydraulic fluid, anything like that. If you wash that away, remember, one of my big techniques and tips is look at your coach, look under your coach, look for signs that you've got leaks. I've got a little bit of a hydraulic fitting leak over here, but I already know it, so I don't worry about washing it off. Just a quick light soaping. I didn't get crazy in the alternator. I didn't get crazy in the clutches, air conditioning, compressor. You know, I didn't get crazy in here, but I'm not afraid to give this thing a light dusting of soap at all. Let it sit for a few minutes, give it a quick rinse, and you're done. Okay. I won't leave you hanging. Oh, there you go. She's all purty. Ready to get dirty. That took all of about a couple minutes. Nice. Boom. That's it. Done. It takes longer to talk about and explain than it actually does to actually do it. Last time I did the coach with the roof included, I was a little bit over an hour and a half, but it was pretty dirty and I had to do a lot of washing on the roof. So I anticipate that this whole process should take me about, probably less than an hour. I want to thank you for the comments, the compliments, and the suggestions. I hope this gave you a great deal of help. Again, look down below in the description and I will drop in the links of these products that I use. And I'm not sponsored by any company. I do get a small kickback if you purchase it from the Amazon links, but that's about it. Helps buy me a cup of coffee every day to keep me going. So give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please do me a favor and subscribe and check out the rest of my videos. And as always, have a great day and have safe travels. Thanks for watching.